And let's all stand and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. If you could now please call roll call.
Bruce Angel,
Here.
Mike Thomas, Tim Bean,
Here.
Jan Berg,
Here.
and Yvonne Van Ornum.
Here.
All right, give me just one moment. It looks like Mike has joined us. Mike, are you here? Mike, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
All right, thank you. All right,
So we are all present.
we are.
At this point, we need to make a motion of approval of the agenda.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Again, as we have been doing on subsequent weeks, I am at this point going to turn the meeting over to the Vice Chair, Commissioner Angel. So would you please take it from here, Bruce?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first item will be the staff report on the 6 and 20-year transportation improvement plan. The public hearing, since we have multiple of them, lacking objection, if we could handle them the way we have in the past, whereby we open the public hearing, staff reports on that public hearing, we open public comment. After public comment, we close public comment, but we leave that public hearing open until we've heard both, and then commission can deliberate and make a decision at that time on both of them. So lacking objection, we'd like to do that. With no objection, we can move on to item 1, items on the 6 and 20-year transportation improvement plan.
Thank you, Vice Chair. So I'd like to touch on the city's planning towards the 20-year transportation improvement plan. And with that, I'm going to bring up the map. So I'd like to let everyone know that this map is available on the city's website. If you go under city website, go to government, this will be under the Public Works website on the off the homepage. So it'll be both the 20-year TIP, which is a 20-year horizon, of course, and then there's a 6-year TIP, which are projects which are more current and funding is more readily available for those. So it's more of an operational transportation improvement plan. Some of the items I'd like to touch upon are projects that we do have identified, and a lot of these projects are either under construction currently or will be with upcoming development that's occurring. And there we are. So this is the map. So the first area I want to identify is the red line you see, that's 172nd Street. So just south of that is 169th alignment. So at Smoky Point Boulevard, if you've driven out there recently, you'll see where there was a new leg of the intersection added to 169th. So that's the intersection that takes you back into Lowe's. With the Affinity project that's going on there, they have constructed that first leg of 169th to their property line. The second phase of that will be a city-funded project, which will take from the Affinity project, moving eastward behind Walmart and then tying into 43rd Avenue. From 43rd Avenue, there are projects that are in the works here. And so that will be the continuation of that alignment, which will swing southward just a little bit and turn into 168th, just because of where that alignment falls. But these roadway sections will also be constructed by development in the area. So that'll bring us over to 51st Avenue. From 51st, the plan is to go across airport property eastward and tie in over at 59th Avenue. So this will, in essence, provide for an alternate east-west connection from Smoky Point Boulevard, parallel to 172nd to 59th, so that you can have an alternate way around the southern portion of the city. Second project I want to identify is this area off of Smoky Point Boulevard. This would be on the other side of the street from where the community transit bus stop is at on Smoky Point Boulevard. This is 173rd. So there is funding in place to do that first leg of 173rd. That'll bring you over to 40th Avenue, which was constructed with the AMWA project, Cedar Point, which is on the east side of the Skagit Cascade Healthcare Alliance clinic there on 172nd. So at that 40th intersection, there's funding in place in order to put a signal in there. So that will become a U-turn intersection at 40th on 172nd. As part of that, once the signals have been placed in that intersection, the median between Smoky Point Boulevard and 40th will be eliminated. So those left turn pockets will no longer be there. You will have to travel down to the 40th intersection, make a U-turn, and then progress back to the businesses on the north side of 172nd. The next leg that will be built along 173rd will be this portion off of Airport Boulevard. So Airport Boulevard is this, so it's 51st at 172nd, comes up here, swings around, and that ties up to 188th, of course. So that segment of 173rd will be built by development that's currently happening on the Airport Business Park. The 172nd alignment is a funded project through the Connecting Washington funding package. That is slated for construction that's been shifted a bit. So we're looking at a construction timeline of 2023, 2024. But that's dependent on what revenue streams there are with WashDOT forward. So along with that, that will include roundabouts at every intersection here. So a roundabout at 43rd, 51st, 59th, and 67th Avenue. Another project that that has been on people's mind and recently is this segment of 172nd between 67th Avenue and SR9 at the roundabout. So we've been kind of dealing with this with no funding source or even being identified as a project on that roadway segment. In recent conversations with WashDOT, this has been moved up to a candidate project list. So from that point forward, there'll be an evaluation and a cost analysis of that roadway segment. It would then move on to a project construction list, which means that mitigation can start to be collected for that roadway segment. So any development within the area, within city limits, and development out in the unincorporated county would then have to pay mitigation into that for future roadway improvements of that segment. Moving back down here, this is the 63rd Avenue alignment. So this is being constructed by development as it's occurring to date. So there are a couple of segments in here where the city will have to take on that that roadway construction, but the majority of it is being constructed by development as that occurs. So this will give you a complete link, north-south connector from 172nd all the way up to 197th. So that'll go past the transfer station, county solid waste transfer station, and then back out to 67th Avenue. 204th, we have development that's occurring on 204th. New Starbucks is being built next to the Bartels. There's also a mixed-use development that will be occurring in 2021 along 204th. But there is a roadway design for that, which incorporates drop lanes, on-street parking, center median with left turn pockets in that median. So if you'd like to get an idea what that looks like, you can definitely visit our website. We do have a conceptual cross-section of that roadway. And then one project I'd like to bring up that's currently under construction is the roundabout being constructed at 77th Avenue and 204th, which is the intersection just south of Safeway on 204th there. So that will be under construction, get the roundabout in order to improve that, the safety at that intersection. So as you can see, there are multiple projects on here. I don't want to have to go through all of these tonight since we do have other business on the agenda, but I do prompt you to go to our website, look at the map, look at the project list, and then if you have questions regarding that, please contact the city about any of the projects that are there. One other thing I'd like to bring up to people is that we have what's called an activity map, current activity map on our homepage. I prompt you to go and look at that activity map. That will identify all permitted projects within the city and it'll give you an idea of what's occurring there, where it is in the development process. And typically, if we have them readily available, you'll see a rendering of the building or the development that's occurring at that location. So with that, I think that about covers it for the transportation element, and we can move forward with the hearing.
First of all, are there any questions or comments on the 6 and 20-year transportation improvement plan? Lacking that, we'll move on to public hearing PLN 662, rezone, the 31st Avenue rezone.
Thank you very much. So the rezone for the 31st Avenue is consisting of 4 individual parties applying for a rezone for RHD, or residential high density. The parcels would add up to 4.4 acres of area that will be rezoned or requested to be rezoned to an RHD zoning. So this is all part of the rezone of the area in Smoky Point. We've looked at this as part of horizontal mixed use, identified these areas as being good candidates for an RHD rezone, simply because these properties all abut I-5. And so as doing this, when you can do a larger, more intense building along that, what it does is it actually creates a buffer along I-5. So it creates that sound barrier so that we can go from a higher intensity building and moving towards the east, we can go to lower intensity as we work our way out towards Smoky Point. This has been discussed numerous times at workshop and through our creation of the docket. Just want to know whether or not there are questions from any of the commissioners on this docket item.
We'll open the public comment portion of the public hearing. Do we have any?
No public comment.
Lacking that, we'll close the public comment portion of the public hearing holding the public hearing itself open till the end of both of these. So we'll move on to PLN 665, open the public hearing for the rezone of York Park.
So the rezone of York Park parcel, this is the parcel that incorporates the original house that's on the property and the garage. It is not the park parcel that's been developed itself, as you can see by the map on the page here. So this is city initiated. This went through council. There was a decision made 2 years ago to surplus this property. The surplus occurred. It went out onto the market on the MLS. We talked to numerous parties who looked at this property. And really what happened, the common denominator here is that in order to keep it as an RMD zone, there are no utilities on this property. So to do any type of development, whether it's a single family residence or duplexes, townhomes, any of those type of housing units requires extensions of both the water and the sewer mains to this property. The cost of doing that did not pencil out with the people that we talked to, numerous parties interested in the property. They could not afford to do the utility extensions to this property in order to be able to build any type of residential unit. Finally, it went to the point that we had a interested party who would do the utility extensions, but in order for that to be something that was affordable and marketable, it took 18 apartment units in order to be able to make that cost recovery on that property with the utilities. And so we're just bringing this forward again, since we have the rezones that are being requested along 31st. This is coming to play at the same time so that it can be looked at more holistically for the area.
We'll now open the public comment portion of the public hearing for PLN 665. Is there any public comment?
No public comment.
No public comment. Liking that, we'll close the public comment portion of PLN 665 rezone request. And now we'll go back, since we've now covered both of those, we'll now go back to the 31st Avenue rezone, open it to Planning Commission questions, deliberation, and ultimately a decision. Any comments on the 31st Avenue rezone? I know we've heard this more than once. Is there then a motion?
I'll make a motion to recommend to the Arlington City Council to adopt the 31st Street Avenue rezone. Comprehensive Plan Amendment 662.
Is there a second?
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded that Planning Commission recommend to council approval of the PLN 662 31st Avenue rezone. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, and we will close the public hearing for the 31st Avenue rezone. Now for the York Park rezone is now open for commission deliberation and a decision. Any comments on York Park rezone? Liking that, is there a motion?
I motion that we recommend to council to approve and adopt the York rezone, PLN number 665.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that Planning Commission recommend approval of PLN 665, the York Park rezone. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries, We'll now close the public hearing for PLN 665, rezone of York Park. Mr. Chairman, back to you.
Mr. Chairman, you appear to be muted.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman. And thank you, staff, for all your preparation on these and the past few meetings that we've had on everything that we've had to do here. At this time, the chair entertains a motion for adjournment.
I'll move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Sounds like we've accomplished our business today fairly quickly. I appreciate all your hard work, commissioners and staff. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, staff.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.